We got the perfect setup. We got the long boom. The wash plant's running perfect. Everything's perfect except for Mother Nature.
Where's that at?
Bottom box.
That's the bottom, huh? That is some fine gold.
The lower box is working.
That's pretty good.
Shawn Pomrenke hit the jackpot. He pulled up a massive haul of gold from the Bering Sea, raking in $266,000 in just one day. As the hours ticked by, Shawn and his crew kept finding more and more shiny treasure. Could there be even more gold hiding beneath the waves? Shawn's dreaming big, maybe even billions big, by diving deeper into this golden adventure. It's all part of his non-stop chase for Alaskan gold. Before proceeding further, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Mining gold from the ocean floor isn't easy. It's tough, gritty work, digging through sand, mud, and boring junk, all for that slim chance of striking it rich. But every now and then, it pays off in a big way. This morning, Shawn found a promising clue, a sample that's got everyone excited. He's tracking a gold streak that could keep the cash flowing all summer long. "Let's dig deeper," he says, sounding hopeful but tired, aboard his trusty boat, the Christine Rose. The team's routine is like a machine. Scoop, sift, repeat. They're chasing that one big find buried in the ordinary muck. It's not just backbreaking, it's a mind game too. You've got to stay patient and tough, even when most days feel like a letdown. But lately, things haven't been perfect. "This well's huge, but I'm not getting good buckets," Shawn grumbles. Half-filled buckets of sand or just water? That's no way to pay the bills. He knows keeping this operation afloat takes money, lots of it. The pressure's on to find more gold, and maybe even get ahead for once. Shawn's got big plans. He's pushing his crew to keep going. No breaks, because time is money. Soon he'll switch to a bigger dredge, a giant gold hunting machine, hoping Alaska's wild weather doesn't mess things up. They use a cool tool called a sluice box to catch the gold and ditch the junk. It's a key piece of his dream, a super-efficient wash plant to make the work faster and better. The days are long, the work is brutal, and the Alaskan cold doesn't care. Every second they're not digging is a chance slipping away. Shawn feels the weight. If they fail, they could lose everything. "We mine, we sell, we pay the bills," he says. "It'd be nice to save some for a rainy day." Still, Shawn and his crew keep at it, fueled by the hope of that one massive haul that'll make it all worth it. They've got a new, high-tech wash plant that's a game-changer, way better than the old stuff. Today, things clicked. The team moved fast, and it felt like the stars aligned. With a little luck, Shawn's gold-chasing gamble might just pay off big time. The mega dredge was ready to roll, a monster of a machine that could chew through 9,600 cubic yards of dirt every day. Picture this. That's like filling 30 cement trucks every single hour, non-stop. This beast was a total game-changer, showing off just how powerful modern mining gear can be. Now, let's talk about how these machines turn rusty old junk into piles of gold. Big news hit the gold mining world. The Mega Dredge, lovingly nicknamed the Mega Dread, was unveiled, and it's 7 times better than the Christine Rose, a machine that used to be the star of the show. That's not just bragging, it's a massive leap forward. The Mega Dredge is fast, strong, and sets a whole new bar for what mining equipment can do. "I've been dreaming up this Mega Dredge in my head for years," Shawn says. "I'm this close to making it real. 400 yards an hour, $150,000 a day." He's got stars in his eyes and dirt on his hands, and he's ready to cash in. But what about all the old, beat-up stuff lying around? They've got a smart plan: recycle it. Instead of tossing out tough, sturdy steel from outdated machines, they're giving it a new life. It's all about seeing treasure in someone else's trash. In mining, where every scrap matters, this mindset is gold. Literally. It's about staying scrappy, creative, and making the most of what you've got. Take this one beat-up belly dump trailer, for example. It was smashed in the front and left for dead. Most people would call it junk, but not here. A clever worker grabbed it, chopped off the busted parts, flipped it sideways, and plopped it on top of the screen decks. Boom! A perfect feeder. No fancy budget, just some elbow grease and a bright idea. "Found this old trailer in decent shape," he said. "Someone smashed the front, so I hacked it up, turned it around, and made it work. Cost me nothing but a little time." Now, that homemade feeder's a star player. It sits right at the heart of the gravel pump system, helping scoop up gold and keep things moving. The setup pumps the shiny stuff through a non-stop loop, grabbing it, sorting it, and spitting out the rest. Every little win counts. And this patched-together feeder? It's a small but mighty step forward. Things were finally starting to click. Slowly, sure, but heading in the right direction. The job? Simple but tough. Grab every single piece needed for the project, no matter how big, clunky, or awkward. Picture the team hauling giant, odd-shaped parts onto a barge, making sure nothing got left behind. This wasn't just a random pile-up, it was the first big step to kick off the real work. Once everything was on the barge, it was go time. Building this thing wasn't about slapping stuff together. It was like solving a giant 3D puzzle. The crew had to plan every move, setting up brackets, sliding plates into place, lining up beams, they call them WS, and propping up stands. Every piece had to fit just right, or the whole thing could wobble or flop. This wasn't some flimsy skeleton. It was about crafting something strong and solid. The big moment came when they welded the central pipe smack in the middle. "Yep, we've got the pipe locked in right here," someone said. "Now we can trim up the sides." That pipe was the heart of it all, turning a mess of parts into something that actually made sense. Next up, tackling the sides. They had to cut the materials down to size, super carefully. It wasn't easy. This part took patience, sharp eyes, and steady hands. One wrong snip, and things wouldn't line up. It was slow, picky work, but it had to be perfect for everything to fit together like a dream. Building this beast was no walk in the park. It took muscle, brain power, and a knack for figuring out how all these pieces would become one big working machine. Day after day, they chipped away at it, collecting, tweaking, assembling. Soon, this heap of stuff on the barge would start looking like the real deal. It's a grind, no doubt, sometimes frustrating, always tiring, but it's the backbone of the whole project. Every little step, from placing a bracket to trimming a side, matters. Bit by bit, it's coming together, and that's what keeps them going. This isn't just about finishing, it's about getting it right. Then came a win. The team locked in a key piece, the new hopper for the mega dredge. They slid it into place, tightened it up, and bam! It was ready. Using stuff they already had, they shaved what could have been a week and a half of work into something way faster. That's not just progress, that's a high-five moment. This smart way of working didn't just speed things up, it showed how to make the most of what we've got. No wasted time, no wasted stuff. That's the trick to keeping the project on track and the budget happy. As we push forward, these little wins start to add up, proving how important they are to pulling off something this big. Every piece we snap into place feels like a tiny high five, a small break in the middle of a monster job. But here's the kicker. For every part we fit, the mountain of work left to do seems to grow. The wash plant is coming together, but oh so slowly, like it's fighting us every step of the way. This isn't just bolting metal and wires together. It's a battle against the clock and our own exhaustion. Lay out a carpet, lock in a screen, and sure, we're closer to done, but it still feels miles off. This job? It's not shiny or fun. No big ta-da moments here. Every move just reminds us there's more waiting. It's like chasing the finish line in a race that keeps getting longer. Each step forward gets swallowed up by what's still ahead. What's it all for? A quick breather before it starts again tomorrow? The end stays just out of reach, and any woo-hoo fades fast. This is the raw truth of the gig. No sugarcoating. It's a grind, plain and simple. No thrills, no surprises, just a steady slog through an endless to-do list. Tighten a bolt, click a screen in place, and all you get is a nod that says, "Okay, next." It's about sticking it out, not celebrating. But then there's the flip side, those early morning dreams that keep us going. As the sun peaks up, hope kicks in. We're channeling the spirit of Shawn Pomrenke from Gold Divers, the guy who nabbed $266,000 in one epic day. Soon, real soon, someone says, eyeing a pipe that's begging for a weld. Just like Shawn's big haul on the Bering Sea, this weld is a game changer. It locks the pipe in the center, our foundation for everything else. Mount it right here, make it perfect, another voice chimes in, full of grit and guts, like a true gold chaser. Every move is sharp and spot on, inching us toward the finish line. Today's a win. The new hopper for the mega dredge is done, and we've shaved a week and a half off the plan. A few more screens, some carpets, a tweak to the hopper, and boom! This wash plant will be a powerhouse. Every piece we add is proof we're chasing gold with everything we've got. A voice says, steady and sure. For a second, we pause to soak it in. This isn't just a job, it's a legacy. One day, the kids will gape at these giant mega dredges and say, "Wow, Dad built that." It's a tribute to grit and smarts, still pulling gold from the earth, just like Shawn Pomrenke from Gold Divers. We feel it, a rush of pride mixed with dreams of striking it big. Echoes of Shawn's legendary $266,000 day flooding our heads. Building a multi-million-dollar mega dredge while juggling dad duties? Tough doesn't even cover it. But like Shawn, we don't do failure. As the sun dips low, someone shouts, "All right, let's weigh it." We're teetering on the edge of something huge. Our hard work might just pull in over an ounce of gold an hour. That's a nod to Shawn's wild success. Each speck of gold catching the last light, screaming not just money, but guts and big dreams. The day's not over yet. It's deal-making time. Stakes are sky-high now. "You've got 45 hours of runtime," he says, "and that's over an ounce an hour." His voice is confident, but there's a flicker of doubt. Maybe he's stretching the truth a bit. We're crammed in a plane's back room, the air buzzing with tension and a whiff of desperation. Money's the only language here. No one's clapping. It's just a grim nod to how far people will go for a payday. "Here," he whispers, spreading cash on the table. The bills flutter down softly but hit hard. 10,000, he says, trying to spark some excitement like it's a prize reveal. But this isn't a game show. It's dead serious. 20,000, he adds, voice rising. The numbers climb, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, and the room gets heavier with every count. By the time he hits 60,000, it's like the air itself is asking, "What would you do for this kind of cash?" No cheers, just the raw weight of big money on the line. It started small, 69, just a little blip. But then, whoosh, that number shot up to 6,935, like a rocket. Word got out fast. 69.3 ounces of gold were now worth a jaw-dropping $83,000. That's a serious payday, and it didn't happen by accident. This was proof that Mr. Gold, yep, that's what we're calling him, knew how to make big things happen. Those climbing numbers, they weren't luck. They were a neon sign flashing his skills. People started whispering, maybe this guy's got the magic touch. Doubters who'd rolled their eyes. They were eating their words now. The evidence was stacking up, and with dramatic music swelling in the background, every move Mr. Gold made screamed, "I've got this!" It wasn't just a fluke. He had a knack, a real talent for turning dirt into dollars. This wasn't some fairy tale, though. Mr. Gold's life was as wild and rough as the Alaskan wilderness he roamed. Born and raised in Nome, Alaska, he wasn't just a TV star from Bering Sea Gold. He was the real deal, a gold hunting pro, wrestling with icy waves and brutal storms. His stories got it all: guts, grit, and those sweet, rare wins that make you cheer. People watching at home, they couldn't help but dream of ditching their desks for a taste of that rugged adventure. Shawn, aka Mr. Gold, didn't have it easy. He took on massive projects like building the mega dredge, a beast of a machine meant to shake up gold mining in the Bering Sea. But it was no picnic. Money troubles, tech headaches, and shady deals landed him in hot water more than once. Still, he'd dust himself off every time. Why? Because giving up wasn't in his blood. He loved the hunt, and he'd be darned if a few flops would stop him. His personal life? Just as bumpy. Take his dad, Steve Pomerantz. Their relationship was a tangled mess, full of ups and downs. It wasn't all gold and glory, but that's what made Shawn's tale so real. Through every storm, literal and not, he kept pushing, proving he could strike it rich again and again. Shawn's bond with his dad, Steve, was a wild ride, full of arguments, teamwork, and some messy fallouts. Whether they were clashing at home or hitting roadblocks on the job, Shawn kept chasing his father's respect. It wasn't just about proving he was a tough gold miner. It was personal, raw, and real. A side of him that made you root for him even more. But then, heartbreak struck. Shawn passed away recently, and the news hit hard. Fans, friends, and the mining world felt the loss deep in their bones. His death closed a chapter, but what a chapter it was. Shawn didn't just dig for gold. He carved his name into Alaska's mining history. He's gone, but his story sticks around like footprints in the rugged gold fields. To some, he's a hero. To others, a legend. His life was a roller coaster of guts and glory, taking on the freezing Bering Sea, wrestling with life's ups and downs, and never backing off, no matter the odds. Shawn's legacy isn't going anywhere. It's a spark for the next wave of dreamers and doers who will brave Alaska's wild beauty, pickaxes in hand. So, what made Mr. Gold so special? Was it pure talent or something extra, like a sprinkle of luck or a fire in his soul? What do you think? Drop your ideas below, give us a like, and hit that subscribe button for more stories that'll keep you hooked.